Greetings, everybody. This is Joanna. How is everybody? How y'all doing? Everybody good? Good on a beautiful day. And I wanted to show you the gloriousness of Gaia and all that she teaches and shows us. Can you believe the magnificence of these flowers? Just this one flower, just this one right here. I was putting them in the vase yesterday and they were closed. And I was just like, honestly, can you tell me anything more beautiful and delicate and elegant? And I mean, just look, you could see through these petals. See, you can see through them. They're transparent. They're just gorgeous. And look at them. Look, could just look. Just look at that. Just look. Oh, they smell magnificent. It's just mind-boggling. The gorgeousness, the beauty that Gaia and the creator. Look at it. Just look. It's mind-boggling, but just the beauty. I was just in awe yesterday. And this one you can see is still closed. This is what it looked like yesterday. It was closed. And then they open up to look like this. Can you believe it? Ah! It's unbelievable. And this is Gaia. It's Gaia, man. It's Gaia all around us all the time. It's just everywhere. And it helps heal. It truly, truly does. And this is going to be a part of our segment today. I've been feeling for the last little while, just getting used to this whole transition and how delicate the light body and the body that I've come in as being crystal and an empath, heightened empath, and being awake for quite some time, ever expanding my multidimensional consciousness. I've come with a consciousness that is quite expansive and sensing and tapping into things that most will be awakening to in their future timelines. And to honor all that I am becoming, and I say with great honor and pride now. I've hidden it and I've kind of boxed it up for so long, but I'm honoring and stepping into more of my own divine feminine goddesshood, and I feel quite accepting in saying that, because it's a process of transmutation that. To step into the divine feminine is a journey. It's an adventure. It's a very sacred experience to work through and release the paradigms, the densities that the divine feminine has been cataloged within, if you will. And so it's a very transmutational experience. It's very alchemic and it's very soft and it's very allowing. And that's part of the Gaia energy, being the divine mother who honors and nurtures and holds us all, and how that divine feminine receptivity, the flow of the divine feminine, allowing the flow of the divine feminine, is so vital and so key to the health and the well-being of our whole multidimensional allness. And we can kind of take it in that micro-macro perspective, in that the source creator of all that is, the creator of all universes, moving through various experiences of evolution and varying times of ascension, of evolutionary change, has found various timelines and galaxies and universes to be needing greater light. And so those of us come forward from certain light programs across many universes. I do remember other universes, not simply this one. And I've come to this one to help with the light quotient, along with many others, of course. And in this process of evolution, the creator experience offers the light, the nurturance, the evolutionary potential through light, the language of light, the fluid movement of light, the harmonic that is light, that loving, joyful song. That is the evolutionary sustenance for all life. And within that song is codes and programs of light and potentiality for the species within all universes. And of course, our universe is requiring greater light so that we can evolve, particularly this planet that was held and steeped in density and limitation due to the programs of fear and limitation that we've chosen to experience as that separative experience from source. Part of the awakening and ascension process is to ever cycle ourselves back into higher dimensional frequencies, and why we've created the illustrations that we can, so that we can harmonize, for those that so desire, to understand that all that we are, all that we exist within, what exists within us is a beautiful mechanism of light, and it's a beautiful vessel of spirit. And to allow ourselves that remembrance that we are always spirit, we are always the experience of spirit in form, in various threads of dimension, in various soulful journeys that we choose to move through. And in that, we become that connective vessel, if we so choose. Again, it's dependent upon your awakening, your awareness, and your desire and excitement to entangle. If there is no desire to entangle, if there's no excitement to entangle, then that perspective of reality will be fairly limited. We are gifted with a potentiality as source creator to experience the all that is source within our vibrational experience offerings. And so the universal experience offering that we have with Gaia is so beyond what we've ever known, what we've ever explored. And we hope to do that in our healing systems and our offerings. And co-create these experiences of interplay and interdependent play, so that we become that vibrational harmonic that's always in that balanced, co-creative, loving nurturance as source creator, as us with Gaia. And it's always that micro macro, so that we are honoring the all that we are through as source, as source, as source. So it's always this, what's been brought to my attention that I had not centered within. Just because of, releasing so much, karmic, and releasing so much energies from so many different timelines and managing everyday life. But now what I'm finding is my new experience to flow within this centering, the centering and the grounding that we wrote in our article this morning that Mario has posted as a video. So thank you, Mario, again, for your beautiful Lightwork channel. That centering within is that alchemic portal, if you will, to all that you are as a multidimensional being, all that you are within and without, as within, so without, as the micro macro perspective. We are in full ownership and sovereignty as to how we lead and manage and co-create within this vessel that is spirit, and also human element, earth element, omnipresent element, working within this all, the centering of all that we are to maintain and sustain this homeostasis at an ever evolutionary potential. Because in every new day, we are offered new codes, we are offered new light. And what is most important, because I've been given visions and I've been seeing and working through my own experiences, is to truly value our ability to center within who we are, so that we are as the center, the sovereign director and co-creator of our reality choice. We get to choose in every moment what reality we want to be a part of. And so those of us that, I'll give you an example, that were worried about the kids and are they going to be with me on my timeline kind of thing. Well, we get to choose. We get to choose as a family, and we're threaded together as soul family. And how all things are stretching out and moving out, if you will. As I said in my article this morning, I'm choosing to soften and surrender into my divine feminine as a role, if you will. Because I find that the definitions and the roles that I've experienced as the divine feminine are no longer suiting me as a vibrational being of heightened awareness, of multidimensional omnipresent awareness. I move far beyond the traditions and the value systems that I was born within. I've moved beyond them. And through that inner work, that doesn't suit me anymore. I'm not receiving what I am putting into it. So how can we change and work the energy so that my new homeostasis, my new centering is that point where I'm jetting out into something new. And in that something new, and living from this centered point, this open heart, the divine sacred heart that is your portal of source creator, the omnipresence, your soul living through you, your higher self living through you, becoming harmonized as your higher self, the all is possible. There are versions of realities that I can choose to experience when my kids are absolutely with me in their own unique time and way. But to remember that they have their own unique soul path, they have their unique soul timing, and trust in it. That trust is so important. And that trust is part of the divine feminine allowance, receptivity, and flow. And so it's really, really key and pivotal I'm just bringing this forward as my own personal experience. Of course, it will be unique and different for everyone. But moving along the path of ascension, I've experienced every vibrational, elastic band point, if you will. You know, my old version of personality, to have to get things done, that type A personality of the doing, and manifesting the efficiency and all of that type of energies that I've carried with me for my own safety, for my own ability to have that similitude of safety of who I was, coming from dysfunctional environments and dysfunctional relationships and codependent relationships and narcissism and all those energies that truly throw you into an emotional and mental imbalance, not knowing who you are, not believing and taking on the beliefs that others have projected on you, and so on. And so all of these experiences allow you to move back and forth to what feels good and what doesn't feel good, never really centering within, well, who really am I? And that's the process of awakening ascension, where you seek within. You seek that center point within you. You harmonize all of your consciousness to come in, only your consciousness. I call all of my consciousness in, all that I am as a soul and a higher self, and all those energies that serve my light program, the highest and the best through Source Creator. I call forward all of these energies within my center, my soul and my higher self. I'm living as one. And how may my centered experience and the excitement to be who I am, the perfection of who I am, and have that only define whatever comes next. And release the roles and the definitions and the societal norms that we've practiced within for eons, because they have been limited programs. They're all limited programs. It comes from the limited frequencies that we're healing. And so we must at some point put it on the table and sort it out, however we so desire, because everyone has a different temperament. Everyone is at a different pace and frequency and availability, because not all within your circle will want to sort it out. But if you're desiring to sort it out, then that's part of your path to do so. And then you will find, evidently, the vibrational match. Is it a match? Is it not a match? And that in and of itself is working it out, because one cannot continue in old systems and still move along, if you will, into the heightened frequencies, because there will always be that discordance and ever more for you to frequency align. And that's a choice as well. However, for me, what I've been working through has been utterly exhausting, literally exhausting, because I've been giving so much to continuing to keep energies at a certain rate that that has been in a complete imbalance, and I haven't been receiving anything back in return. And those are my personal experiences that I can say, well, I'm choosing to step forward now in a new way so that I can define myself in a new way. I choose to call in those that will also be representative of an equal give and take, that understand that flow, that understand that reciprocation of emotional engagement, mental engagement, intellectual engagement, spiritual engagement, and physical engagement. And in this way, in this centering, in this owning and honoring who I am as a divine feminine, I'm now owning and claiming my power to co-create expressively and freely and with great liberation as the divine feminine that I am, in this allowance and in this flow. And releasing the programs that I've come with through the DNA and through the Akash and through my imprints that are no longer serving me. Regardless of how it might seem and appear to others, and how can we work it out in this greater creative conscious flow so that all are given that opportunity and potential to see the value system of one another. And this is what it really comes to, is when you're willing to sort it out, put it on the table and say, as a family, these are the things that I have been experiencing. These are things that I have been feeling and sensing and I've been moving through. I can only state this for me, but this as the caretaker of them, this is what I've been seeing. This is what I've been experiencing. This is where I'd like to kind of be. So how can we work it out so that everybody can be a part of the solution, so that everybody can come and be a part of this play of interworking of new energies? And of course, every person will have their choice and their free will, dependent upon age, if you will. The older children that you have their higher free will to play more independently, if you will. And so, but as far as partners and partnerships and relationships are concerned, the moving within your sovereignty, your divine free will, sussing out your inner desires and excitements to co-create, because that's really where we're at right now with this, window into the new 5D, is to really listen and honor those inner urgings and those inner cycles of co-creative experience that we're really aching to start moving on. And in that, we send out those heart soulful vibrations that start calling in soul tribe. But it takes that, we have to suss it out, and what part of that is allowing, and what part of that is doing, because we still have to take action. But the divine feminine is that honoring of who you are as the flow of source, and how that flow is aligning all that you are, and healing all that you are, and recalibrating all that you are, realigning all that you are to the natural flow through the pillar of light from heaven to earth. And while we anchor and then allow it to live through us, it's a mechanism of light. We are a mechanism of light. We are activating our light bodies in every moment if we so choose. And what's been really exciting for me is that I've been sensing these changes coming on because of many reasons, because of many programs I'm here to transcend and help uplift. The divine feminine, the systems that have been suppressed and depressed, the children's collective. There's so many systems that I'm here to help accentuate, to bring into the forefront for higher and greater balance of vibrationally. Through my own experiences, through my lineage experience, through my multidimensional omnipresent experiences, to bring in that light, to bring in those codes of light through the divine mind. The divine mind is how we are fed the experiences through the omnipresence. And I have an illustration of our universe, but I'll post that on our website later. It was that experience that I was shown as that top-down experience of these three universes moving in an ascension, and how the various experiences and light codes are brought to each universe uniquely. And yet, again, all is one, we're threaded as that multidimensional omnipresence. And why I felt a month ago that experience of that omnipresence coming from another universe to experience, and give me the awareness here in this body that we're bringing these greater lights and threading them through the all that we are. But if that energy is scattered, and what I've experienced this past year is because I've been so affected by everyone's energies around me, that it was so much work for me to then keep that pillar of light sovereign and strong and empowered, so that I'm not in that flux of everybody else's energy and I'm left feeling depleted, which is what I experienced. And then getting thrown into everybody's energy and then having to rework myself back into my standing point. So that there's many different perspectives, understanding boundaries, understanding how to set boundaries that are allowing you to still flow as the infinite being that you are. And then allowing yourself to understand that you're a multidimensional being constantly moving through evolutionary cycles. So how can we create self-care and self-alignment, and understanding that these cycles, the full moon, the new moon, the eclipses, are highly impactful on our multidimensional bodies and light bodies? And how can we create those sustenance, new 5D behaviors? And this is what we're really getting at. Our post this morning and all that we've been talking about in multidimensional self-care is that excitement to honor who we are as this vessel, and going through what I've gone through this past year, and understanding, well, getting really clear about who am I as a divine feminine, and what is it that my vibration and my soul is really excited to co-create, that timeline choice that is really important for me. And it's really important for me to be that humanitarian and bring all of these energies and all of these experiences that have been suppressed and depressed into a higher vibrational potential. And how can we work the energy as a collective, creating these greater systems of fairness and unity and oneness? And that will be a part of my role in however it might be offered. And to continue these offerings of the understanding of who we are as multidimensional beings that will absolutely rewrite everything we know to be about the human experience, the sojourns of being human. Because it's not what we've been taught and told, and it's not what textbooks can teach us at this point on the healing of this multidimensional all experience omnipresence, because they've been taken from that perspective that has been held in that viewpoint, that energy vibration. And that's okay. Those are the learning, those are the gateways, if you will, that we break open and say, okay, what next? And it's all valid. It's all true. It's not true. It's true. It's all true. But part of the divine feminine role is to nurture those energies of flow into that higher vibrational light and codes that are being brought down through that pillar of light. And why grounding and centering and honoring who you are as the flow of source, whether you're male or female, it doesn't matter, because we're all healing divine feminine, we're all healing divine male. And these energies live through us as codes, healing the chakras, activating the chakras of those densities that carry those root programs of safety. And why so many people on our planet right now are requiring that healing to feel safe within their body, to feel safe as being human, to move through those energetic experiences where they feel, and they're magnetizing those experiences in their relationships. Well, am I safe with you? Do I feel safe with you? You know, is this something that has been reciprocal? Is this something that I've been uplifted and I've been valued and I've been honored? Have we felt safe emotionally and physically and intellectually with one another? And how are we emulating this to the vibration of our home and our circle? So all of these experiences, the human collective will be unfolding, and why we're moving through what we're moving through is how are certain groups feeling safe within the collective group? And how can we start peeling back these layers of suppression and depression? And they're meant to. It's a natural, progressive, evolutionary healing, working the energy. How can we do it in the way that honors all life, that respects all life, that allows us to flow with what we're being offered as a collective, and allow our true natural innate creativity to flow through us? And the pillar of light that runs along the spine, and if you will, and it becomes the feeding nurturance. It becomes that sustainability that we receive from Gaia. We receive energies from Gaia, and I can feel them from my feet. We have the Earth Star chakra down here, Soul Star chakra up here, and our other chakras that run into the higher dimensional planes of existence. There's more chakras than we know, and so don't be limited on what we think is just the chakras that we've been told about or taught about, because there's far more. And it absolutely feeds the multidimensional allness of all that we are. And if we are not centering from this space here, because this space here is the mechanism and portal through which all that we are is either balanced and in harmony, or in flux and riding back and forth on the emotions of everybody. Because as your various bodies open, you will be you may feel particularly sensitive to everything that everybody's moving through. It's just natural, and especially the children, they're awake and aware, and their vibratory fields are much more expansive, and their energies are far more crystalline than ours ever were. So they can feel the collective energies and what's going on with the collective. So if we're not talking in a way that allows that soothing and that honoring of who they are and their own self-empowerment to clear and to create that centeredness within them, they're knowing of their safety, they're knowing of their multidimensional bodies and how tuned in they are with the all, then that releases a lot of fear and worry that of all the things that children go through, as many of us do. Is it normal for me to feel like this? Why am I feeling so sad? And why am I feeling so angry? And why do I feel my safety? And maybe I'm not supposed to be here. And all of these things that they worry about, because they're feeling those fears from the collective. Their fears for their own safety, the fears for their own ability to transcend these collective, experiences that are a part of our evolutionary awakening. We've always been this, but it's because of the programs that have been so limited that have held us within ourselves very limited, and why we've had the illnesses and the imbalances that we have on all realms, whether it's a mental, physical, emotional, or etheric. Why the auras are so important, and why those codes and calling in that light and grounding to Gaia, forest bathing, sitting out at the tree and just sit there for, however long you feel, and call in those energies to recalibrate the cells, the organs, the blood, the elements that you are with Gaia. And it's that interplay of flow from the center of you, the center of all that is, the center of the sun, the center of Gaia's core. It's an evolutionary, multidimensional, Merkabic experience. And we're now becoming aware that we are all that we are. As we activate our light body, we are becoming the active sacred geometry that is all life. And our awareness of this brings our oscillation of who we are as these energies that stand more empowered as sovereign, more empowered as who we are as clear beings of light. These are my choices, and I am able to create, and I'm able to speak my truth, and I am able to offer my service. I am able to offer all that I am to these collective issues that require mending and healing and expansiveness, inventiveness, co-creativeness. We're all here to offer our part within this centered flow. And you will feel when you feel centered and harmonious and when you're not. I mean, that's part of the tuning in process. That's part of the elegance of what we're moving through. On Sunday, when we had that full moon, I was absolutely feeling so much density and weight being lifted from me. It was so profoundly heavy, but that heaviness was my acknowledgement of what I was carrying for eons. And it's mind-boggling. It's mind-boggling. The number of energies that were fixated into the density that we've carried and the programs that we've lived within that are no longer serving, and they will come up to be healed. And why it feels so very emotionally heavy, and it feels so emotionally overwhelming at times. And why it's so important that self-care, the awareness of our cycles, the awareness of our multidimensional allness, centering within who we are, simple breath work, simple grounding, honoring yourself in healing times of the cycles, taking greater care, taking greater baths, shutting off the electronics, detaching from the social, the social energies that require more of us to ground in peace, to ground in harmony, and to ground in our fluidic oneness. Because we are the ones that are anchoring that peaceful flow to those that really need it, that are really fearing for their safety, that are fearing for all of those collective energies that we are clearing and cleansing. And so that divine feminine allows us to receive, that divine feminine allows us just to be in that flow, to honor who you are as the flow of source. How is my multidimensional allness flowing into my highest intention? And you'll feel when, I'm all over the place, everybody's energies, I mean, that's how it feels. So then that's when you go and ground and you get outside and whatever it is that you do to recenter, center within yourself, call all of your consciousness in, center, and intend the grounding cord right down to the core of Gaia. And then open your pillar of light. Call in your unique soul codes, your unique intention through your higher self, your unique light codes and light energies from Source Creator. You're communing right from all that is for Gaia's Ascension program, your Ascension program. And you are calling it into your center. You're then grounding yourself down to Gaia. Grounding yourself into Gaia. Therefore, you're completing the connection. And what I felt so many times, and for me this past week has felt so aggressive, it's been the energies that I feel from the collective. And that can be felt if we're not fully grounding into Gaia. You can, as an empath and a crystal child, you can feel the collective energies, and then that becomes part of your emotional and energetic field. And then you have to become really aware, this isn't my frequency. My frequency is very calm and peace, and this doesn't feel like me. And then you ground and clear. So it's really important to understand why you feel what you feel, all you exist within, what exists within you, and then use the simple techniques to reground and recenter, and then have the children get used to it too, because nobody's talking to them about these experiences of our ascension and allowing them to be a part of that ascension program. To understand that they can ground and just look at the trees and think about what the sand might feel like beneath the roots of the trees. Have them imagine themselves at the beach and putting their feet right into the sand as the water comes up and clears them. So play with these multidimensional visions of imagination. Imagine them having that light that runs along their spine, just pulling them into the earth that's keeping them safe and grounded, that's keeping them clear and pristine. And just use these visualization techniques to calm the mental body, to calm the emotional body, and to calm and create a greater homeostasis within all that they are, because it recalibrates. Because some of the energies that we're being fed, especially if it's on a lot of electronics, it's not that natural frequency. It's an unnatural frequency. So they need greater time to ground and recalibrate so that their bodies can become that natural essence of Gaia. that we all require to be on this planet. You know, she has the ingredients and she has the energies, she has the codes, she has the vibrations for us as we her. And again, as we said at the beginning, how aware we are of this entanglement will determine our expansiveness that we grow without and within. You know, and if we're only aware of so much, then that will be the experience of that. So we're very diverse and dynamic, and I'll just bring this in again because I keep looking at it as I'm talking. I mean, just look at that. I mean, this is how diverse we are. Our center is within here, and we can just bloom and blossom in just the most magnificent, aromatic. I mean, just this. If you could smell these are my favorite flowers. These are peonies and the lilies. They're just. I don't have any word. I mean, just look. I mean, look at the elegance. Look at it, so delicate, just beautiful. And why our bodies will find those gracious experiences of healing through scents and oils and aromas, and to getting the children out to smell things and to touch nature and to getting their textures and their multidimensional bodies to get recalibrate through their multidimensional systems of flow. There is the natural flow of the universe. And if we're not allowing it, or if we're resisting it because we want to hang on to the old ways, or we don't understand what this new flow means, then those are things we got to sort out. You know, what am I resisting? Why am I hanging on to things that don't feel good? What is the fear behind that? And then can you trust yourself to know that you're here as a master, you're here as a being of light, you have all that you need within you to know that you can handle whatever you want to place on the table to sort out. You have it. And it will allow you to see the vibrational match of those that are in that circle, perhaps, that are continuing the frustration and the agitation. You know, and then it's your choice to continue or move on. You know, but that susses it out in and of itself, you know, and there's soul purpose to that. You know, every soul comes with that innate threading to say, are you going to teach me what I'm asking for by standing in your truth so that I can see you do that and I can learn from that. I'm going to grow from this. My soul is growing from this, because that's evolution. The soul wants to grow. Every challenge offers you that opportunity to say, well, I can grow through this. I was giving myself such limited perspective of skills and abilities. And this transition of challenge, this transition of difficult, you know, movement into something new that's totally unknown, that we don't know how our work and our career and our schools are going to look. This is why we're all here. We're here to sort it out and say, well, how can we all move in a way that every soul within its sovereignty is being upheld by its soul's journey and soul's blueprint. That every soul has a unique plan, every soul has a unique temperament, every soul has its unique speed and capacity to learn and grow. And every soul's desire to express, explore, and experience themselves is unique and profound. And so that in my divine feminine, and just accepting myself as the powerful divine feminine that I am, releasing all social norms and all roles that I've come within to transcend, and I will. Every moment that I stand within who I am and listen and be led from this soulful place of centering, to say that this feels good for me now. And we become ever more present, living from this moment for moment space, knowing that I'm fed from above, I'm fed from below, and I'm creating heaven above, without. As above, so below, and within, and so without. It is the sacred geometry movement of the infinity cycle that is that flower of lotus that is within all of us, and it works in all directions from this center point. How may I allow the flow of source creator to call in something new? And you're moving with the pillar of light and the energies from above. And that beautiful movement of flow and sound just recalibrates, anchors. And why we will feel the urge and the necessity and the beauty just to flow in new ways, new 5-dimensional ways. so that we become this fifth dimensional essence and embodiment of love, of creativity, of flow, of magnificence, and allowing all others to be theirs as well. But if we're not allowing all that we are to flow, then we're encapsulating ourselves within still old programs that need to be broken free. And that's when we go through those really traumatic releases that feel as if we're losing our mind kind of thing, because we've held back for so long. That resistance and that keeping things in, energy needs to flow. That's one of the very first teachings of metaphysical understandings. Energy must flow. It cannot be destroyed. It must flow and transform, flow and transform, flow and transform. And how are we allowing it? How are we flowing and receiving? How are we allowing the all that we are to be the dynamic being of holy light? And we're tapping into all fields, the omnipresent without and within, knowing it, honoring it, stating it, valuing it. I am that I am, and I create the timeline through which all beings of vibrational match are with me. We are here, and we will help Earth. We will allow all peoples to be healed. We will allow new systems of light and clean water and clean air, and we will bring Gaia back to her resonance of pure color. We are worthy of this. That's why we're here, to be all that we can be. How glorious is that? So thank you, dear lighter ones. Now the Divine Feminine is so very powerful, and I'm going to do a beautiful vibrational card flow. This is the language of light, the Mayan Oracle. I love these cards. So thank you. And as you can tell, I haven't cleared my throat too much today. I'm getting more and more refined in my frequency as I'm working more with my light body. So we do hold personal private session healing. Various private healing sessions. Some of them are intuitive when we tap into the Akash, looking at the current blocks and how to transcend them, and various healing sessions. So feel free to tap into our website and take a look at our private healing sessions, and we can connect and call in your teams in the Christ Collective to assist with those as well, for those that so desire. And we offer global webinars. Thank you to all of our Japan clients. Thank you to everybody all over the world that we tune in with. So we're so grateful. And this is a beautiful sacred card, and we're sending everybody rainbows and blessings. Thank you. I think we'll call on to today. I've been getting this one a lot. Oh, we're just talking about that harmonic resonance. Let's look at the X one first. I'll show you the card. That's 221. Yeah, X. Ish. It's actually pronounced Ish. 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 Integrity, heart knowing, alignment with divine will. Magician, shaman, jaguar, night seer, priest and priestess, initiator, the magician, and magic. Magic is not an action, it's a type of perception. It requires reverent attention to the present. So allowing yourself to be present. Present is not a doing vibration, it's a being. It's an allowance. Presence is an allowance. I'm allowing myself to be present. It's a perception of allowing spontaneous and the unpredictability to live through you. The awareness to show its mysterious face. So allowing the mystery to be in everything, the flowers before you, the air, the vibrational omnipresent fields that are unseen at this point, that we all have interaction with, and allowing ourselves to flow unapologetically in our light and unapologetically in our vibrancy of love of who we are. And this is reminding me, the centering, the within and without and from above and so below. And when we're centering within all that we are, being present in this way allows the magic just to live through us, and why so many experiences are magical. We become the magician in that presence of I am that I am source. I am living as a dynamic vessel of source, and here I am. Who wants to create with me? You know, that's presence. And this is harmonic resonance. I love this card. I love this card. Why don't I just look for the page number? I love this book. The people that did this book are pretty amazing. Thank you for this offering of brilliancy. They did a great job on these oracles, and it's probably one of the most expansive oracle decks that I've seen so far. Pierced by the harmonic resonance of the one heart. So all of us are threaded as a vibrational thread, a vibrational harmonic in our one heart. And when we go to sleep at night, we're working on the astral planes. We're all working together to carry the vibration to a higher harmonic in however unique and diverse ways that we are, and why sovereignty and creative expression is so very key to not only personal evolution, but our collective evolution, and why we are required to step beyond the traditions and the norms, and why so many of us feel those urgings, even though it will be great change to not be everything that we've always been, because there's been people that we've been doing it with, and that causes that care, where we take care in these transitions so that we're soothing each other into these new ways of becoming and behaving. But that's what's required. You know, we can't continue to live in a 3D way of behaving if we're now 5D. Because our bodies, our multidimensional bodies, will be showing us, you know, as your light body turns on, as all of your vibrational fields turn on, we have to care for ourselves in new ways. We can't carry everything we've been carrying. We just can't. And that's what we'll be seeing as great, you know, psychic and mental imbalances and emotional imbalances, because it needs to be cleared and processed. You know, that's the process of awakening. Acknowledge it, sort it out, process it, and let it go. That's the movement of energy. That's the movement of change, you know, and it's exciting, right? And so the vibrational number on this is 8. And as you can see, the vibrational infinity is 8, always centering within 8. This is the ground that we sit upon. The infinity, always moving. The empowerment, a galactic grid, the path of the one heart, the solar passage. And it is the foundation of the harmonic resonance, the clear trinity of all that we are as body, mind, and whole spirit. And this seemingly physical reality that we're placed within, we are a spirit having a human experience, so we can be as liberated and free as we so choose. But it's the belief patterns, it's the egoic energies, it's all of those things that we're healing. It's the psyche wounds, you know, from all lifetimes. That's the psyche carries all of our wounds from all lifetimes. It doesn't connect it or attach it to any other lifetime. It's just that one psyche wound, and we all have many of them within our blueprint to clear and heal. And so in that, we can choose to create new programming. Well, I know that this is who I am now, so I can just jump right over that psyche imprint that's telling me that I'm not worthy of this. Because there was other lifetimes where those wounds had occurred, where the divine feminine was abused, where the divine feminine was beaten, where the divine feminine was taken advantage of and treated ill. So those are the frequencies that I've felt I've been healing, that I can now stand in my truth and say, well, that's not my belief anymore. I'm transcending it. I'm choosing to transcend it. I no longer require that in my pattern. I'm choosing a new pattern, and this new pattern is centered in my harmonic resonance of oneness with Source Creator as Source. I am the song of Source, and I choose this, my choice, my timeline choice, and I allow it. Remember, resonance, harmonic resonance is a flow, it's a movement. If you connect to the vibration of the words, they are flow. It's flowing movement, vibrational experience. Harmony is a fluidic movement. Resonance is a fluidic vibration. Any vibration is moving, whether it's a slow moving vibration or a fast moving vibration, they're moving. And so this in and of itself is the experience of flow. How are you flowing harmonically? How is your resonance and the vibration that you carry? And are you allowing yourself to be centered in your oneness with Source, with Earth, with all that you are? That's that centering. Isn't it profound how these just all click together? Discover the harmony of being the natural resonance with others, with Gaia, with all that is. So how can you harmonize with the elegance of love? Even if someone before you in that conversation experience might be challenging, harmonize with the fact that, wow, we are one. Look at us working this out. It might not have the outcome that you had hoped or someone else had hoped, but that's the flow of love to transmute what's going on. Because you may just realize through that experience that this change was absolutely required for all involved. Because if you're living in your highest truth and you're honoring who you are and you're setting about change in authenticity to your highest path, it automatically serves the highest and greatest good for all others. And you know that because that's living in your highest truth. doing it with care and doing it with compassion and doing it with honoring of all involved, that's how we align to a fifth dimensional frequency that we will all be called on to create these new systems and societal becomings. Because that's the respect of honoring all others, and have all others understand that they also have a choice to create their reality as you are creating your reality. You know, and you can choose to step back and say, I don't choose to be a part of that reality anymore. It's exhausting, and it's just not, I can't do that anymore. It's not a vibrational match. This is where I'm excited to explore. And you have that birthright and that sovereign free will, the constitutional free will to explore those experiences that are truly within that aching of your heart to explore. Those are part of your spiritual and evolutionary, diverse ways that we each evolve. And we can't hold one another back in any one way because of limiting beliefs. And those will be experiences that everybody will move through, because that's a part of transmutation. I mean, how many times have I've woken up and I've said, okay, today this is going to change, and then it doesn't, because it's so much easier staying within the programs and the limitations and the cycles that everybody's been working with. And I've done it myself. But it was at the point now where I can no longer do that. I'm a completely different vibrational pattern than what I was when I accepted that before. I can't accept it anymore. My vibrational pattern is different. And you flow with it. And of course, everyone is different. You know, of course. I'm only bringing these forward as experiential offerings for those that sense themselves moving through great change, and how we can move about it in a more centered and harmonious way, to have everyone to be a part of it, so that you're not the only one that's carrying all the light. And to be in honor of that light that you are carrying, and know that you're a multidimensional being of vast potentiality, and your body will require that you care for it in new ways, that you express yourself and explore yourself in new ways. You know, and be that open vessel. However you may explore your field of light, however you may explore your experiences, and offer, you know, and just offer acceptance and allowance to all people, you know, but understanding sovereignty, understanding what centering really is and how important centering is to the healing of the whole vessel. That's going to be really key in grounding that energy, to ground, so that we're not feeling as if we're flopping back and forth in really profound and intense energies as a collective. You know, I can feel the collective energies, and why it's ever more important for those that are awake to continue the anchoring of our centeredness, so that we are that peace, and we emulate that peace, and we radiate that peace to also bring calm and harmony to what is agitated, you know, as a collective and within the grids. We don't want to facilitate that upset by not understanding all that we are, and feeling that flopsy-turvy. I mean, it's a part of our experience, but it doesn't have to be. We want to facilitate peace. We want to facilitate peace within ourselves first, right? I mean, who doesn't want to be peaceful? I want to be peaceful. Inner peace right here, over here. It's me, you know. And so we're going to call one more. So thank you to what are these ones? Stacy. So we're going to do our wild animal wisdom. Wild animal wisdom. Thank you, animals. Thank you, creative. So go explore nature. Go explore your bodies in new ways, and how your bodies will feel being in nature, like forest bathing. There's a few books on forest bathing right now. So if you're ever interested to connect with a book on forest bathing, there's some books on forest bathing, and how different your body feels, just changing small, tiny little things, you know, instead of drinking coffee, drink teas, you know, more organic, botanicals, and, you know, bringing yourself flowers, you know, even if it's from, you know, outside on a trail, or, you know, just, you know, some daisies. Bring the flowers in to honor them and honor Gaia. Create that sacred space and that sanctuary within who you are as a spirit, and that centering of sanctuary. This is my sanctuary, and this is really important to me now. And that's part of the healing of the divine feminine. All people, especially the children as well. The children are going through their healing as a collective. And I can't tell you the number of times that my kids have had conversations with me about their perspective of how the children are perceived, you know, as you know, these different ideas and energies that they feel and they sense within their collective, about who they are in comparison to all others, their lack of knowing or not knowing, their lack of contribution, and we've had great conversations about this. They're very aware of the weight of and the energies that the collective holds about them. And they can sense it and feel it. And they come home and they say, well, this is what was said to me today, or this is what I feel, this is what I'm sensing. Why is it this way? Why are children treated this way, kind of thing. And those are all things that we're healing. We're bringing to new vibrational experiences, and they must be. Again, it's transformation. We can't, the energy is being worked. That's what this is all about. We're working the energy. We're very aware at a collective level of all of these new awakenings that will be brought to the forefront for us to work out into something new and exciting. And that's how it's supposed to be done. Put it on the table, let's work it out. Bring everybody in, let's do this. There's nothing to fear. Transparency is where we're at. Integrity is the new way, and oneness is, how we'll all be served. Nothing to hide. Nothing to hide behind. Let's sort it out. Da, 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 da. Oh, Jaguar. We were just talking about that release. I mean, you can see the power within that. Look at that. So this is a beautiful story just unfolding for me right now. You see the vibration. I mean, she's at the beach here, and she's bowed in the reverence of what she's moving through. I felt this weekend. No kidding. No word of a lie. She was bowing, and you can see the very center of her being. You can see the center of her being. And when you're going through a really big release, you can feel it through every fiber of your being. And it's just monumental, And she's sitting she's sitting with the ocean here, if you will. And this tiger is being released from the bottom of her spine up the back of her. And for those that are aware of metaphysical texts and ancient writings about the Kundalini and all that we are as multidimensional energies and beings, and that dragon, if you will, that rises up within us, and it begins at the base of the spine. It begins at the very core of our being, and why that pillar of light runs along the spine in the way that it does. Because it feeds these energy threads like the DNA that are male and female that go all the way up. And as you're having these big releases, it's like this big vibrational, like rebirth. It's like that purging. And so you can see that right from the ocean in the center of the earth, it's coming up like this tsunami. And it just feeds through her spine, and it just bursts right through her. It can no longer be held the way it was. And through her vibrational transformation and knowing that self-love and self-honor and self-respect, all of those loving, nourishing energies and vibrations of light feed all that she is, moving into the chakras, moving into all that she is, a multidimensional being, and finally bringing these densities out and purging them, calling the roots with it, and just purging it and releasing it to be transmuted. And this is the release of the will that we carry as a sovereign being. This is what this jaguar represents to me, is the sovereignty. I am a sovereign being, and with the eye of who I am always supported by Source. And it will come through and live through you to be transmuted into something new. And that takes courage. And not everyone has that capacity to move through those expansive experiences. It takes the soul of all that you are to feel one again. To feel whole again, to feel honored and valued again. And if you're the only one that values you, that's all that's required. Because in your valuing you and you loving you and honoring you, you're transmuting all other frequencies that you're now setting that timeline with that frequency. I value myself, I honor myself, and I will call forward those energies of that frequency. This is my will. This is my power as a sovereign being to live freely and uniquely as I am, as every spot is on this leopard. And what I was shown last week, so thank you, Stacy, for your beautiful cards. I'll call one more. What I was shown last week, a couple of days ago, is I was shown a butterfly, and my team, this is the first time I had seen this, and I was looking at this butterfly, and of course knowing and understanding the experience and the symbolism of the butterfly, but what they were showing me was the unique dressings of the butterfly, the unique colorings of the butterfly, and they were outlining it. And so this is beautiful. We were just talking, this is just amazing. The snake and the creation. And we were just talking about the roots, just calling up these roots, call them up. You know, this is the stuff we're setting on the table. Just bring it up. Where is this rooted in? What beliefs do we hold about our family circle, and how can we change it so that it serves all? You know, then it can be simple and small, you know, as opposed to who makes meals, you know, and really sort out the stuff that has been triggering, because it's steeped within those limited beliefs about suppression and repression, slavery, all of those things that we're all here to change and heal. We're all here to be a part of the changing dynamic. We're all here to be a part of fairness. We're all here to be a part of equality. We're all here to be a part of the new creation. And it might feel uncomfortable for so many, because we've been so egoically patterned to old paradigms and systems of limitation. And some will be willing to go with it and some won't. And that's okay. That's okay too, because we're all learning and we're all a part of this. It doesn't matter whether you sense someone will be with you or not be with you in that time, but it may be in a couple of years, 2 years down the road, they might be. And that's okay too, right? It's all good. Everybody has their unique path, and it will all unfold perfectly and dynamically for everybody. But we see that this, from the roots and from the ground, and what has been brought to me so many times, and what we did at New Family Tree, the divine heavenly gardens, if you will, the kingdom of the heavens, kingdom of love that was given to me in that diagram. I'm pretty sure we named it as the kingdom of love, because that's what I was given. I want to get my butterfly card. But what I was given was the family tree. And the family tree is all based on the alignment and the centering of who we are as a collective, and how we can build a new collective, human, universal, omnipresent family tree, because it begins from a new vibration of integrity, a new vibration of love and caring and oneness. And so that family tree was for us to sort out and suss out from limiting perspectives from that 3D version, and center within this new now moment, and how we can work through the emotional 4D energy experience, because 4D is all about healing the emotional body, and arising beyond into a 5D way of behaving and looking, because our 5D life might look somewhat different than our 3 and 4D life. You know, 4D life is you're just consumed with all of the emotional healing you're doing, and you're just so consumed with the emotions that you can't see kind of beyond what is. And that's okay. That it's a big process. You know, I've been through it all. I get it. And that 5D is going to look, you know, instead of, you know, watching TV first thing in the morning, you ground outside and do clearing, and you open up to the divine. So however that looks for you, but it will be different, because your bodies, as I've been working through the past month and past year in particular, it's really different. You know, the body requires, that light body is intelligent. That light body requires our care, our nurturance, to be replenished, that receiving, that calling in to receive, that grounding to flow with Gaia, that flowing of that nature mother, that flowing of the divine nurturance. It's really nurturing. And it looks different than it did 5D. 3D was like, you know, working your butt off, giving, doing, working to live and living to work. 5D is different. There might be some that will have that experience, but they will find the imbalances, because the energies will just call for it. The bodies will call for it. The bodies will require. Let's see if I can find it. How's everybody doing? Everybody's good. Good. Sending y'all love. Yeah, we love you deeply. Thank you, Mother Mary, for being with us. Thank you. I don't know if there was a butterfly in this one. Maybe I have it. Oh, I think I taped it to my book. Oh, we'll use the hummingbird as another one of my animal. So you see the coloring, and they were pointing out with this crystalline pointer, if you will, and they were outlining the various colors in the circles. You know, and the butterfly has like different experiences on it. There's circles, ovals, you know, these beautiful fragments of color and defined, clear color. And I've always been so amazed at how every animal is just so precise in its coloring and its uniqueness. And they were showing that to me. And they were saying, this is what you are moving through. You are refining the color of who you are. You are, through your experiences, these are the representations of your color, your aura, your vibration, your light field, your light body is being refined. Color, sound, harmonic, flow. And that is the precision that you are moving through in mastery. What feels good? Allowing that flow of this feels good. That's that present moment living. And when it's not flowing too right, then you redirect, well, this feels good to me now. And then you end up just letting go of what's no longer working, because you'll constantly be living in this flow of what feels good. So that's really, really profound. So thank you, everybody. I'll turn it off there. I think it's been long enough. Thank you so much. And we hope that you've enjoyed our multidimensional, omnipresent offering, micro, macro, and how centering and honoring all that you are as the divine flow source creator to bring about more profound and more, I guess the essence of our offering today was that it can be truly joyful and not as dramatic in your releasing and in your healing through simple practices of Gaia bathing, being really grounded and present and turning off all the energies that no longer are in alignment with your vibration. And it takes that free will and that choice, that sovereignty, that who we are as creators, to truly begin creating that 5D reality. And just small changes, I always tell my kids, small little changes make huge differences. That's how you know that if you want something changed, it just takes these small little tweaks to see that difference that you're requiring within your whole reality, you know? And so give it a try, see if it works. And we're sending you great love and great honor about who you are as a divine source creator. We thank you so much, Mario, for always being that light channel of sharing our light and carrying us. So we appreciate you so much and we love you. Namaste.